Perfect. Perfect. Welcome to Dirty Fanatics United.
Falcon fans, Falcon Nation, Dirty Fanatics United is back with another live podcast coming at you on a Tuesday night at 8:45. Falcon fans, hit that like button, leave a comment if you're new to the channel, ring the bell if you want to receive DFU content daily. It's your boys from DFU coming at you live. Episode 107 is coming at you. Recap. Title of tonight's show, Kooooo, not so Kooooo anymore? Question mark. We're going to talk about it here, Falcon fans. Be sure to hit that like, leave a comment if you haven't already. Cody, Phillip, my co-host here tonight to talk Falcon football. Robert was not able to make it tonight. That is all well. Falcon fans, we are here to talk Falcon football. Cody, what's going on, man? It's we didn't do the recap show Sunday after the game. Obviously, emotions were high Sunday. Personally for me as well as for others here, not a very pleasing game. Cody, Fulham, man, you got a big game coming up Sunday against a pretty great defense over in Denver. Cody, how are we feeling about that matchup? Before we get to the Denver Broncos matchup, reflect on Sunday, brother. How are we feeling about that game? And kind of just let me know where it went wrong, and then Phillip, we'll bounce it over to you.
Yeah, man, definitely not feeling good about that one. It always sucks losing to the Saints. You never want to lose to your division rival, especially them. I'm a big Kooooo supporter. Like, on this show, my hot take, for the season was Kooooo was going to go perfect for the season, and that just flat out hadn't been true. I hate to sit here and lay it all at his feet because there was a lot that this team could have done to change the tide of the game, but you can't leave 9 points on the board like that. That's it's unexcusable. It really is. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say we need to trade Kooooo, that we need to fire him, that we need to sit him, we need to bench him, because let's be honest, Younghoe Kooooo, since he's been here, has won this Falcons teams, throughout the last 3 years. Well, we had very subpar quarterback play. He has won us more games than he's lost us. And, the way that you got to look at it, and I know it's hard, especially because of the team that it was, being the Saints, you just kind of have to look at it. We all have bad days at the office. I go into the office sometimes and, I forget, to order parts, or I forget to, go grab something, take it to my technicians. We all have bad days at the office, and Kooooo just had a bad day at the office. And I know it feels like it's been more and more like that for Younghoe, but honestly, I think a lot of the reason it feels like that is because of how successful he's been. Before the last 2 years, he was doing better than Justin Tucker. He had a better accuracy percentage. He was kicking it, just as far. He was just, he was up there. So, I mean, I don't know if there's something going on in his head, or if there's, this thing of like, it's all a mental game for them. Like, it's my wife actually had one of the best analogies for it is, she goes, she loves bowling, and it's kind of one of those things. You can do the exact same thing over and over again when you're bowling. Same thing like you're kicking. You can line up the same way. You can kick the same way. You can hit the ball the same way, and sometimes the ball just doesn't go your way. And I feel like that's kind of what Kooooo's going through, is that there's either something off his mechanics or there's something in his head. Now, to be fair, again, he did have one blocked, and that's purely on your offensive line. And that was something that was absolutely driving me nuts. It's something that I brought up in our group chat, was the Saints defenders were getting their hands up way too much. Mm-hmm. And it was like I was telling you earlier, Chase, before we started the show, that's something, as for me, who played offensive line for 10 years, one of the things our coaches preached was, when you see the defensive players starting to get their hands up, you've got to punch them in the chest. And now I'm not talking about, physically punching somebody in the chest. But that's when you get your hands up and you pop them. Pop them right in between the numbers, on the numbers. You do that enough times, and it keeps their hands from getting up. And that was one of the things that we had issues with was their guy getting his hands up too much. Kirk had 2 or 3 batted balls or balls deflected. Kooooo had the one block that would have made this game a tie. It would have been tied had he had not got the one block, because that one was headed to the right, the right direction. That was in there. You could absolutely tell just from that it was headed, in, and that's so that's on the offensive line. But again, not just Kooooo. Like I said, I'm giving him 90% of the fault for this because he is a professional. He is that good. He is that guy, and you can't miss field goals like that. But that being said, there was a lot this team, and I'm sure we'll get into it further. But Kooooo, you got to do better, buddy. I always say I've still got your jersey. I'm still repping it next home game. I still love him. I still got my Kooooo flag here. There's none of that's coming down, but man, it just sucks to lose to these guys because it is the New Orleans Saints. It just sucks. But lots of things that can be fixed. And it was the other good thing was I'll pass it on to Philip here. I was gonna say it was good to see him admit that too. I don't know if you guys have seen the video of him coming off the field and seeing Arthur Blank, and he goes, "That's my fault. This is on me." So he understands that it's on him. And it's good to see a player take that responsibility. And it's even better to see your owner, arm around him, talking to him, letting him know. I'm sure it's something that Arthur probably told him is like, look, man, you've won more games for this football team than you've lost.
If you don't clean this shit up, buddy, I'm going to walk you back to this locker room.
That's right.
I'm going to take you back. Okay, I'm going to give you this flight back to Atlanta. But when we get back and we go to Denver, if you miss another one, Kooooo.
Yes.
That's it, buddy. That's it.
Yeah. And
hey, good game. Good game. Go take your pads and
everybody's allowed. You're allowed one, and I couldn't imagine having to kick in those situations. But again, no excuse. He's got to be better. He's got to do better. But this whole team as a whole that Sunday should have been better. And to be honest, I mean, even with the 3 missed field goals, we had opportunities to win that football game still, and we didn't capitalize.
That's the sad part about Sunday's game. The overall performance to me just was not there. We're going to bounce this over to Philip. Philip, I know you were disappointed Sunday with the Falcons' outcome. As any normal Falcon fan, you lose to your divisional opponent. You are now instead of 5-0 in the NFC South, you're 4-1, which is still a very dominant record to hold in the NFC South. You still sit at 6-4 on the season. You're NFC South leaders here. You're still 2 games ahead with the tiebreaker. So Falcons still sitting nice here. The only thing that changed, as we stated, the Saints and Panthers fighting for the 3rd place spot. I did see an article today where it says it's very possible that Tampa could potentially win out. So that would be your only other direction through the South for another team to take the NFC South. It's looking very promising for these birds, but they have to keep it up. Philip, Sunday's game obviously was a slump from the start. Don't feel like the Falcons were in it to win it in the first quarter at all. Philip, I'll give my breakdown after you do, but how are we feeling about this team? How are we feeling about the team coming off of this game? And after you get done with all that, we'll give an injury report and head to the comment section.
Yeah, man. A little breakdown for starters. It was a lot of head beating, banging on on the counter, a lot of swearing. But, it's fine. It's fine. We're only 6-4 or what?
6-4, 4-1
4-1 in the division. We're sitting good. That's all I'm gonna leave it. We're fine. It sucks to lose to these guys, but hey, we are okay. Just like Raheem said, he's excited to see the way they bounce back in this coming week. I'm excited as well, so I'm gonna just leave it to them. Leave it in their hands. They will just leave it at that. Well,
Raheem Morris leaves a statement that I found pretty interesting. He says, this team that I have here are fighters, and I can't wait to see the bounce back this team brings this Sunday after the loss to the Saints. So maybe this loss was a win in disguise. Maybe this wakes your defense up, this offense, for when they head over to Denver to face this top 10 defense in Denver. So there's always good things that come out of a loss and a win. We're going to break it down here on the channel. But before we do, we got a comment here from my guy Omnil, always in the chat with it. Omnil said, Kooooo was used to the Falcons scoring touchdowns and not having to go over threes. He was chilling on the sideline. The Falcons have been dominant in the scoring game this season, man. It's not been a issue other than those first few games where Kooooo, wins you the games in very critical situations to send you against the Bucs in overtime. The Saints game, he wins that game initially with all those field goals because the first game we couldn't even put a touchdown on the board.
That's
you scored off of a special team. You scored off of a defensive interception, pick six by Troy Anderson. So, I mean,
special teams.
Kooooo has done things this season alone to put the Falcons in the situation they are now. Yes, as I said, the day that it happens, as you're watching the game and you see that third ball not go through the uprights, you're mad, you're pissed. This is a guy that you respect, a guy that you think is going to come out there on the field and win you the game. Because Cody, we spoke about it before the show. We said Kooooo would be the turning point in this game. Kooooo would be one of the reasons why we would win this game. It would be a significant field goal. Kooooo would take the lead with the field goal. We said potentially if everything plays out right, this will be the game the Falcons walk away with a 14-point dub, an easy signifying win here as it should have been. I don't know about you guys, but my TV screen showed the Aints, whatever they want to call him, their interim head coach way too much. I got tired of seeing him and his face and his – oh, God, that game just pisses me off when I go back to Sunday.
Yeah.
Bounce back Sunday against these Denver Broncos, man. That's all I can say.
Against our favorite, Sean Payton.
You bounce back against Sean Payton Sunday and all is well, and you're heading to the bye week 7-4. You hear how nice that sounds? 7-4 over a 6-5. I prefer any day. Get the win Sunday against these Denver Broncos. Stormy Sapp is in the chat. Mama here, she said, tough loss. Rise up. Who's next?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Who's next? Why not us? As Raheem Morris would say.
Well, and this was something I heard too. Was I think a lot of the reason a loss like this kind of sucks is I think as Falcon fans, we have a lot of trauma, man. And so when you lose the way that we lose, it just brings up feelings that we've had from past years. Because if I'm not mistaken, 2016, were we not?
We were
same record, man.
And about to head into the bye.
Yeah. And so I just think
that bye.
Yeah. Will just start clicking, and I think that's the great thing about a late buy is it lets you reset, refocus, and close out your season. So this is coming at the right time.
The late buy is coming at the right time of the season because you're not too banged up. You are a little banged up, but if you can heading into that gets us to our next topic. Let's hit the injury report real quick because you're heading into week 11 now. You're not too banged up. You're not 100% as no team is here in the NFL in week 11. But you have some questionable names here that's been riding this list all season. I mean, he just made his return. Now he's made an appearance back on the injury list. Troy Anderson, questionable again. Troy will undergo another reevaluation today. Or actually, he went under a reevaluation Monday after aggravating his knee in Sunday's loss to the Saints. That was per Daniel Flick. Taquan Graham also questionable. He's was taken out of the game for a pectoral injury. No update on him yet. Mike Hughes has underwent an MRI on his neck Monday and has been cleared to practice per Daniel Flick. J.D. Bertrand is still questionable with the concussion. That J.D. Bertrand out for a while now with his concussion. If he's not back this week, that's 3 weeks in a row.
That's kind of scary.
It is. It is.
Scary.
He's a young player, man, and I don't even want to get on our draft class this season. But let's talk about the injury report here. Mike Hughes cleared. Obviously, you went and signed that guy, Lamar Jackson, not the quarterback, but the guy the guy that's strapping down the defenders now here in Atlanta, Lamar Jackson. Some nice tape on the kid. There's obviously a reason why he was sitting. He wasn't on a roster. You go signing, but the guy's a veteran here in the league. He's played a couple of years. Depth signing here, but big news: Mike Hughes is cleared to practice. That is a very big plus heading into because watching the game Sunday when I seen that Clark Phillips was on the field, and shout out to Clark Phillips, you did your thing. He's still developing. He's still learning the NFL. He's still learning routes. He did get beat a time or two, but Clark Phillips still did very nice in some one-on-one tackling. He did some very nice tackling skills. Almost had a pick. So the Troy Anderson, he goes out the game. That doesn't, you didn't see much production from Troy when he was out of the game, or when he was in the game. It just wasn't there. Taquan Graham, obviously, there really wasn't much pressure. The only sacks given up was the Atlanta Falcons letting people hit Kirk Cousins. We're going to talk about it here. Did we get one sack?
When we had like a strip fumble or something, or a bad snap, and we did get back there to him.
Okay, so they do count that as a sack. That's right. Let's look up the stats for Sunday's game, man. Aints versus Falcons. Let's find out these team stats, because this was going to be a Sunday show, and we did not make it Sunday afternoon to do the show. So total yards, we'll start with the Falcons. Total yards, 468 to their 365. There again, the Falcons should won in that aspect. They should have won the game. Passing yards, we had 287 to their 269. Rushing yards, 181 to their 96, and we still don't come away with a dub. 6.4 yards per play. They get 7 yards per play. Way too many yards for a banged-up offense. First downs, guys. 25 first downs to their 14. The Atlanta Falcons were supposed to win this game Sunday. 5 out of 14 third down efficiency. They were 5 for 13. Third down efficiency was not there Sunday, fellas. I don't know what happened. We were top in the league Sunday heading into that game, and then after that, just was not there.
Too many batted balls.
Teams have bad games, and that is exactly correct. Too many batted balls at the line. Fourth down efficiency, we were 1 for 2. Still a very nice fourth down efficiency. Total plays, 73 to their 52. Sacks allowed, we allowed 3 sacks to their 0 allowed. We had 3 punts. They had 5. We had 6 penalties for 45 yards. They had 8 for 76. Fumbles lost, 0 for each team. We threw 1 interception. They threw 0. Time of possession. This is the big one here, boys. This is the big one here. 35.7 to their 24.53. You held the ball 10 minutes longer than they did, and you still lost by 3 points Sunday.
Yep.
Philip, you hear the stats, brother. Where did things go wrong? What happened Sunday? Why did the Falcons not walk away 5-0 in the NFC South?
Because you started off slow, and then you let some guy named whatever the hell his name is, Scantling, whoever the hell that is.
JV is.
Yeah, whoever that is. I mean, I got the Chiefs didn't want, but Super Bowl contenders there. But hey, they didn't want him. But you started off slow and you let this guy torch your defense. That's the problem there. They started strong where we didn't. If we started the way we did the second half, boom, you have that game. You have that game. You only allowed them to score actually, they only scored 3 points after a half. That got them to 20. Other than that, our defense stepped up after that. Offense just still trying to figure it out.
All season done pretty well with the adjustments.
Yep.
Yes. Defense has done pretty nice all season with the adjustments. Cody, you hear the stats. Yeah. Obviously disappointed as a Falcon fan, but we could sit here and talk about where it went wrong all day, but this will be the last time I ask this, Cody. This goes to you. What went wrong Sunday? Stat-wise, you win the game. Play-wise, you do not walk away as the winner.
Yeah, no. Again, and I've already harped on the Younghoe Kooooo thing. To me, that's number one. You can't leave 9 points off the board off of missed field goals. The big thing to me, though, was like Philip said. You come out.
Look stale.
You look stale. And my thing is at what point is this defense going to look like the second? And now, again, I understand halftime you can go in, see what they're doing, kind of more, better and stuff like that. But what is this defense going to come out and just look rock solid and, go into halftime and then adjust and get better from there? It's like Philip said, this unknown receiver that the Kansas City Chiefs wanted nothing to do look like a 10-time Pro Bowler and
Holmes out there. So.
Yeah,
I got an even better stat line for you guys, and you may win it past you guys because Sunday was a loss. Most people don't go to the stat sheet after a loss, but Sunday's game, okay. Sunday's game, you walked away with 17 points, but you had 3 players on your team all over 50 yards receiving.
Oh, yeah.
Drake London, 8 receptions for 97 yards, averaging 12.1. Darnell Mooney with 5 catches for 96 yards.
That boy was
averaging
mugged.
19.2. Darnell Mooney was being held every single play.
Yep.
Kyle Pitts, 4 catches for 55 yards. Ray McLeod, 3 for 30. Bijan Robinson, 3 for 28.
I called that touchdown, by the way.
Nope.
Falcon fans, you're losing games that you're winning on the stat sheet.
Yep.
That tells me, and this is where Falcon fans can go irate and probably lose their shit, but that tells me something somewhere in the coaching line went wrong Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody did not do their job Sunday in the front office, and that to me is Zach Robinson when it comes to this offense.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that's just my thoughts.
And you're right, because let's be 100% honest. Your offense sets the tone, man. As much as people love to say, defense sets the tone, so does your offense, man. And if you come out slow like we did Sunday, it affects the team as a whole, because especially when you're on the road. But then this picture almost, made me throw up in my mouth. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but you've got the unknown wide receiver, you've got AJ Terrell, you've got Simmons, and you've got, I think it was Clark Phillips, in a triangle, and this guy's in the middle
It
of
was
this
Jesse Bates.
Jesse Bates, that's right.
And
This wide receiver is in the triangle of our 3 best defenders, our 3 best corners, our backs, and he catches that ball for a touchdown. It's unexcusable. There was just so many things.
On top of that,
wrong, but
nobody's getting to the quarterback.
Right.
Nobody's getting to the quarterback at all.
Boy, we look like Georgia on Saturday, man. Jesus.
Facts.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Y'all can get offended all you want. Yeah, Bart got something else later. I don't care. They look like the dogs, and I don't like that. You start off slow, you pissed me off. Okay, on to the next.
Mr. Robert, a.k.a. Mega Biff, is here with us on the live podcast, episode 107. Robert, what's going on, brother? Glad you were able to stop through tonight and talk some Falcon football. We are obviously just speaking on the Falcons recap show from Sunday. We obviously want to give you your chance to catch up on the speed of things and where we're at in this conversation. Robert, Sunday's game, man. Before we get to that, how we doing, Robert? What's been going on? How's life treating you, brother?
Well, Sunday's game still stings a little bit, but it's the NFL. You got to move on.
Absolutely, Robert. That brings me to my very exact point. Sunday's game, I'm sure you've seen the stat sheet. The Falcons win on the stat sheet, lose on the field. Kooooo, maybe not so Kooooo anymore. Falcon fans all over Facebook speaking about Kooooo missing the field goals. Robert, Sunday's game, what went wrong? Where did the Falcons lose this game from the start? Where did it happen? Just break down Sunday's game, man, from a fan's point. How did it look to you?
I think they took the Saints way too lightly. They went in knowing there was an interim coach, knowing that Olave was out, knowing that Lattimore was gone. I think we just went in, thinking it was going to be a cakewalk, which, we all did. But, you got to bring the energy to the field. If not, you're going to fall into traps like this. I was hoping that the Seattle game was going to be the wake-up call, but obviously, just can't take teams lightly in the NFL. Even if it is your most hated rival and their dumpster juice right now, can't fall into those traps.
Absolutely, Robert. I agree with you 100%. It was a tough loss that the Falcons should not have taken, and they could have walked away 7-3. 7-3 Sunday if you get that dub for the first time in quite a while. But still sitting nice in the NFC South, sitting number 1, still 2 games ahead with the tiebreaker. Still looking pretty nice here in the NFC. Philip, we'll start with you and then go Cody, then Robert, and then I'll answer. If you had to give somebody the game ball Sunday, we try to find the good in these games and the bad in these games. But if you had to give one person the game ball for Sunday's game, who would that be and maybe why? And then pass it off to Cody.
I'm gonna give it to the guy that I called would have a great game. I'm gonna give it to Bijan Robinson. came out. And to me, he was the one that was lit on fire the entire time from the start to finish. He's almost turned this game
20
around.
carries for 116 yards, 2
Almost,
touchdowns.
he's the one that almost should have turned this game around. He should have been the reason that we won this game by his touchdown, his late touchdown into the game. Really, I mean, what else can you say? The man balled out Sunday, so I'm giving it to Bijan.
Bijan absolutely did ball. That's a great game ball there, Philip. Cody, game ball for Sunday, brother. Offense, defense, you pick and choose. Who do you think deserves that ball for Sunday?
Man, there's only one answer, and Philip was dead on. The only person that you can give the game ball to from Sunday is Bijan Robinson. I know we're all Bijan ass kissers on this program, but there's a reason for it, man. He was the only one that showed up. Now, he did cause Caleb McGarry to fall down twice, but that's Bijan being proactive in our offense. And like I say, sometimes you got, like I was telling you, Chase, before we started, was I appreciate the effort that Bijan's showing because he has turned into an elite blitz. He picks up blitzes and he does really well. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, he just got in the way twice in critical moments. But as a team overall, Bijan's really the only one that you can give the ball to because Kirk didn't look like Kirk. I guess you could give it to one of these receivers, but Bijan's the one with the touchdowns, and he was the one with the 100+ yard game again. And so, and
everybody's got it. Complaining about him not having this long run.
Yeah,
he gave it to you. He gave it to you. Now y'all can stop.
How about him carrying the defenders in the end zone? I thought for sure Bijan was going down.
But hey,
and he just carries these guys right on into the end zone. Robert, obviously Bijan Robinson, a very stellar player Sunday in that matchup. He always has a big game against NFC opponents. Bijan Robinson, game ball from Philip and Cody. Do you go the same direction, or do you maybe have a different player you want to give the game ball to?
Bijan's the only logical choice. He's the only one that actually, didn't come out flat. Actually, appeared to be putting well, and of course, Tyler had a few good runs too. He did get stopped down at the goal line a few times, but the stats don't lie. Yeah, the Bijan, obviously, game ball goes to him, no question.
Absolutely. You speak on Tyler Algier, 11 carries for 59 yards. Still a nice stat line there for a second-string running back. We will have Tyler Algier's uncle on here soon, guys. I've been chatting with him. We got to get the date right. He said he's never been on a podcast before, so this will be his first time. We're excited to have him here on DFU, so can't wait for that to happen. Maybe this opens up the door to his nephew there, Mr. Tyler Algier. That would be something to have here on the podcast.
Yeah.
Guys, I agree with you guys. I'm not taking this ball away from Bijan at all. I would give the game ball to Bijan. We said it on the live podcast that we expected Bijan to have a breakout game Sunday. Maybe Kyle Pitts could have that breakout game, and it seemed that way that Kyle Pitts could because early, man, Kyle Pitts with the big grab there on the sideline to keep the chains moving. Kyle Pitts making those unicorn catches that you drafted him to be after being silent last week. 4 catches for 55 yards here on Sunday's game for an average of 13. But I'm going to take this game ball since you guys give it to Bijan. I'm going to take this game ball and I'm going to split it right in the middle. And I'm giving one piece to Drake London. I'm giving one piece to Darnell Mooney because this receiving core this year, guys, has been outstanding for Atlanta. These 2 receivers alone are leading the NFL in receiving yards. Touchdowns. I don't know as of to date if they still carry that. I don't know if they actually still carry the touchdown record right now, but they did at one point combined as your 2 receivers in the NFL with the most 100-yard games, the most touchdowns on a season, the most receiving yards together as a duo. The Atlanta Falcons hit on Drake London in the draft. We all know this. We all knew that was a hit. But then they go and sign a Darnell Mooney this offseason. Falcon fans, even DFU speaking about we still got to go get that number 2 receiver. We still didn't know if Darnell Mooney was going to be that guy in Atlanta. Falcon fans, Darnell Mooney's here, baby. And Darnell Mooney's here to get a contract. Darnell Mooney is your receiver 2 here in Atlanta. Drake London, he is receiver 1. We know that. Obviously, he is a dog coming back from that hip injury. battling through it, still putting
Still
up
ball.
4 to 5 yards shy of a 100-yard game. You're going to see a 1K yard season from Drake London this season. And Falcon fans, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it.
So we talked about the player game ball. We talked about the defense a little. We talked about the Kooooo situation. Is there anything I'm missing from Sunday's recap here that
The W.
fans, the W. We did miss the W. We did miss the W. Robert, is there anything you want to mention? Philip, Cody, anything we missed from Sunday that you guys wanted to speak on before we get ready to wrap this recap show up here for this Tuesday night show?
Yeah, I would say I think we misplayed at the end of the game too. I know that we had the fumble that pushed us way out. But I really feel like I think, like you and I were talking about before we got on, I really feel like panic and just too much. I understand you had to hurry. You were out of timeouts. I think you had 13, 14 seconds left. Throwing the ball behind the sticks on 4th down or just it didn't sit right with me.
At that point, you take the shot to the end zone, interception or not, you throw it to the end zone.
You either do that or you. Man, I almost feel like you almost could have just given Youngway one more shot. I know it would have been a hell of a long.
Yeah, we said in the group chat, guys. I said you're going to have to get Kooooo in position and give him a chance to win this game. Because listen, let's all be for real. If Kooooo takes that game into overtime,
the other 3 just erased.
Yeah, they would have gone away. Yeah, and I know
gets in position for that.
Yeah, and I know it would have been a long field goal, and chances are he probably would. He probably misses it. But man, if you give him a chance, could you imagine he drills a 61-yard field goal or whatever it would have been, and we're in overtime? That totally swings momentum. I think you've got to run a better play on 4th down. I understood, yes, it's 4th down. Yes, you're trying to get the sticks and get out of bounds. But in that case, you got to run something a little further. You can't throw the ball 3-4 yards, from your 1st down and get that. You could have done something better there. I mean, if you're going to do this is the thing is Zach Robinson loves running those screens. That would have been the time for one. Not throw it out in the open, not out in the open field with no blockers in front. That's the time you throw one of your little swing, screens out there. But I mean, it was a long. Don't get me wrong, it was a long shot, but there had to have been a better play.
It was worth the shot.
It was worth the shot.
Yeah, I agree. Philip, Robert, anything you want to throw in on that? You had the chance to. You were close to midfield range. You've seen Kooooo make a 58-yarder this season. Do you take that chance and give Kooooo that extra 4 yards and let him try it? I mean, it's the end of the game.
I mean, I don't see why not. I mean,
but here's the question: did you have enough time to run the field goal and get it set up because you had no more timeouts?
I mean, I feel like you possibly could have got.
I think they had it. They would have had just enough time.
Because you could have switched out your crew to get lined up because the ball was already set and played.
Yeah,
so you had time to have them go out there and set, get ready, and kick the field goal. But I will say I don't have nothing else like to talk about it. But I will say let this be let this be a reminder.
Mm-hmm.
Keep this game in your head and keep pushing forward. Do not let it, for Kooooo for existence, man. Do not let it bother you or get in your head. Keep going. Keep pushing. I don't care you missed 3 field goals. I mean, I do. I do. But overall, you're on my team. You're my guy. We'll keep pushing. Let's just continue to get there, man.
Dude, Sunday I was mad. I was so mad after Sunday's game. I went straight to the Atlanta Falcons post and said, "You better have a new kicker in the building Monday."
Another thing that I do want to talk about: are they hiring for kickers? Because I think I can make a
shit. Let's say he can kick a 50 for you.
Anything else?
We know we got a kicker that can make 50s, but can you make it in between the 40 and the 50? From the 40 to the 50, can you do that?
I can make a 50. I can make a 40.
All right, so Kooooo can be from the 50 and home range.
I'm D1, bro.
Kooooo can be the 50 and out. You can be the 40 to 50 yarder.
There you go.
Yeah, that works.
I got you.
All I know is whoever the hell stole his cleats from Buckhead, please bring them back. You please just bring them back.
Keep the car. Keep the car. Just bring
the damn Jeep. Just please bring his cleats back.
Shit.
That's right, bro. That is true. That's true.
You gotta stop.
But yeah, man, nothing else. Just keep pushing on. Don't let this be a setback. Keep pushing.
I was gonna hit these people with the hotline bleeding tonight. I was gonna hit them with the hotline. Chat hasn't been popping off tonight, so we ain't gonna hit the hotline tonight. We've had 2 commenters tonight, not really popping off. So we'll keep the hotline for Friday night, I suppose. Friday night.
Ooh, I'm probably not gonna be there.
Philip may not be here.
I got a playoff
Pirates
game
in the playoffs, but DFU will be here, baby. You can catch DFU if the Mike Tyson fight ain't on. That's another one. Mike Tyson,
it's coming on.
Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight Friday night. Who's watching?
I might. Jake Paul.
I'll watch.
Who we got?
If it's not, listen, bro. If it's not rigged, Tyson is killing this guy, man. I'm just being honest. If it's rigged, you can go ahead and say Jake Paul's going to win due to some BS, having more punches landed. But anything else, Tyson's going to kill this guy.
Yeah. Cody, who you got, bro? Who you got?
Yeah, I've got Mike Tyson, man. That's what I was telling my wife. I was like, hey, this is our options on Friday. We can either watch the Tyson Paul fight, or we can rent a snuff film because it's probably going to be the same thing.
Falcon fans in the chat, let me know, hotline or not. Do you want to run the hotline tonight and talk Falcon football? Call in DFU and give your questions and thoughts of Sunday's game. I'll pop the number up if you want to hit the hotline. Be sure to do that. Robert. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, who you got, homie? You the old school. I'm sure you're going Mike Tyson.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Been watching some of his training reels. He looks about as sharp as ever.
Mm-hmm.
He is. He's going to knock this dude's brains out.
I think so, too. I think he's going to lay this kid out. I think he's going to lay him out.
I will say this, man. Jake Paul's got some balls on him, dude. I don't care what shape I'm in ever, period.
Fuck that.
I don't care if Mike Tyson's in a wheelchair. I'm not fighting a dude, period. For any reason.
I want Mike Tyson to just.
The only way I'm fighting this man if I got a weapon on deck, bro.
Yeah, if I get to fight him with like a shotgun, we'd talking, but I ain't fighting this dude with my hands.
They don't call him Iron Mike for no reason.
No, they do
Iron Mike for a reason. Falcon fans, hit that like button, man. Leave a comment. We are getting ready to get up out of here before we do our shout outs. If you're watching this video after the live, leave a comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from. If you're a season ticket holder, drop the season ticket holder section in the live comment section. Falcon fans, hit that like button. Cody, we'll start with you, brother, and rotate it around. Shout outs for tonight.
Shout out to you guys for coming on after a tough game like that. It's no fun to do these after a loss. It's always good to talk Falcon football, but it's a lot more fun when we're winning. That's 100% for sure. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to the people that commented. I know it's tough to come on and watch and listen to us talk about a Falcon loss instead of a win. It sucks. It's made the work week already super long, and it's only Tuesday, and I was off today. So that tells you everything. That tells you.
That's the bad thing about it. That's the bad thing about a Falcon L, dude. You got to go that whole week. Dude, I dreaded ass L all the way until Sunday, and just hope your team's gonna get it right the next Sunday.
I mean, right side with me, I'm off on Monday, so I mean,
see, but here's my thing. I don't know. I'm sure it's probably the same with you, and maybe it is the same with you guys. I don't know, but every coworker, I'm the Falcon guy at work.
Yeah.
And so I have it's no different than when Raheem Morris has to go up there and explain the loss to, I've got everybody. Man, what happened? What do you think? And I'm sitting there going, all right.
We suck. I'm sorry.
Like, when we lose, I swear to God, I just need to go over over the works PA system and be like, all right, on the drive in 15 minutes, I'll give my press conference on the Falcons, why we lost, what happened. But
give us a podium. I'd like to speak.
Man,
but it sucks. But
I wouldn't be as crucial as people think, man. I'd try to hype these boys up. Ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah,
Philip, shout outs for tonight, man. Cody, we appreciate you coming through tonight. Speaking of Falcon football,
shout out to my
short
God, man. Shout out to him. We here seeing another week. Man, blessed to be here. Shout out to the team. It's a tough loss, but bounce back. We got these. What are they? These horses.
Ponies.
We're gonna ride these guys on sailing high, man. I'm gonna probably have to bring out the cowboy hat again. Who knows? Only time will tell. We'll see. We'll see. We got to bounce back though against Sean Payton. He knows us. We know him. It's gonna be a dirty game.
Hold up. Something just popped. Hold up. Something just popped up on my screen.
Benji.
Fuck Fred, fuck Howard, and fuck all of them.
What about Rob?
It's about that.
Fuck them all. We don't care about that loss Sunday.
We moving on. We 4-1. Shout out to them boys. We keep rising, baby. That's it. We keep rising. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody that's commenting, man. Shout out to the tree. I hope everybody likes it. I decorate it every year. It's my favorite thing to do around Christmas. The red lights, everything. So shout out.
I thought that was a polar bear over there. You know, like the Coca-Cola.
Oh, I can see it. I can see it.
The little red dot right there.
Yeah, the nose and everything.
What?
I see
Have
it.
a red nose.
Yes,
It's a polar bear have a red nose.
it's cold
Coca-Cola.
outside. Philip, he's got a red nose.
The Coca-Cola bear, bro.
The Coca-Cola bear has a black nose, bro.
Is it a black nose?
It's a black nose, dog.
Okay. Right.
But
Mega Biv.
since he's hating on my tree, shout out to the tree times 10 because Chase is a hater. But rise up, baby.
Mr. Robert, aka Mega Biv. Glad you was able to stop through tonight, brother. It's been a crazy couple of days here for the podcast. We ain't been able to really run it, but we are back and we are live in action. And Robert is here with us tonight. Shout outs for tonight, Mr. Robert.
Shout out to you guys for letting me be a part of this. Means the world to me. It's always good to talk Falcon football, even after a huge loss. But we're going to move on. And special shout out tonight to my boyhood idol, Steve Bartkowski. Today is his birthday. I'm wearing the number 10 for him.
Happy birthday, Steve. I knew I was forgetting something, Robert. I knew I was forgetting something.
Ooh.
And of course, shout out to our viewers. Without you guys, this isn't possible. And shout out to Brianna, Peyton, Zach, and Christy. Love y'all. Rise up.
Shout out to them Hawks, baby. They just beat the 9-3 Boston Celtics, the biggest rival.
Yes.
Screw you, Boston. Suck it. Go Atlanta Hawks, baby.
God, not Trey Young with the ball top.
Ooh,
That guy's on X game mode. No.
It's cold,
Falcon,
baby.
hit that like button, man. I want to give a shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight, man. We appreciate y'all coming through and supporting the channel as y'all always do. I want to give a shout out to Raheem Morris, man. Get this team back on the right track. Let's get this win Sunday. We will be back either Thursday or Friday night speaking Falcon football on these Atlanta Falcons. This matchup against Denver is going to be huge. What's up, Philip?
Trey didn't even play.
ACL Hawks making noise here early in the season.
Shoot. Dang.
Shout out to, obviously, my Lord and Savior for letting us come on the show and continue to bring you guys content as we do each and every week. You can catch DFU live either Thursday night or Friday night at 8:30. We'll be back speaking on the Denver Bronco game, which will lead to a Falcons pregame show Sunday and a Falcon recap show Sunday afternoon. So be tuned in, man. Hit the subscribe. We lost 2 subscribers the last 2 days, man. Hit the subscribe button, man. Get us on back up. Get us back to the goals 1K. We're at 448 right now, Falcon fans. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment if you haven't. If you're watching afterwards or live now, we got a comment before we get up out of here. The Sports Nuts is here. It says, the Sports Nuts. Check them out on YouTube, man. Check out the Sports Nuts. Falcon fans, it's been a great stream. As always, thanks to my co-hosts, Cody, Philip, Robert. I appreciate you guys coming through and doing this with me as you always do. Catch us Thursday or Friday night, man. This is your boys from DFU. Real quick, shout out to Philip for the weed eating that you did around my garden up front. Nice job. Nice job. But next time, roll the water hose up.
What?
Roll it up. Don't roll the water hose up. Falcons fans, we out of here, man. Anytime down.
What?
That's it.